Riding the storm through the chaos and flame. Hell pods are screaming, there's no time for restraint. Locked and loaded, freedom's our call. Against the malevolent, we'll stand tall. Metal rain falls, thunder cracks the air. The galaxy's hope lies with us out there. Highway to the drop zone. Through fire and fury we'll fight. Highway to the drop zone. Hell devers burn bright in the night.
Evening's Freedom Squid Squashers. That was Highway to the Drop Zone by One Praetorian, which is his attempt to make his vision for our upcoming movie's theme song into a reality. I respect the attempt, but I think there's also a big difference between what we actually do out here and what the Ministry of Truth thinks that we do. My attitude towards the movie could be described as cautiously optimistic. I mean, it might be good, but the odds are against it. I mean, you all saw how we were depicted in Secret Level. We're not cops. We earned these capes. If someone held an artifact of power that we wanted, we might ask nicely once before turning them into Swiss cheese boardroom guy from RoboCop. No one wants to be Swiss cheese boardroom guy. The top news of the hour is that Operation Cataclysm has been wildly successful beyond anyone's predictions. The many clans and communities of the Liberation Fleet have come together like never before to defy the Illuminate and free the worlds of the southern frontier from the grip of tentacled tyranny. At our last census, over 50,000 Helldivers stand ready to deploy at any given moment. And since the beginning of the operation, only one Illuminate abduction raid has succeeded. Because of this, no dark matter was able to be gathered today either, and the Meridia Singularity has decreased in accumulation from 87% to 80. That doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet, though. Meridia has finally arrived at the borders of the Illuminate sector and is only several AU from Angel's Venture, close enough that its chromatic distortions can be seen in the night sky by the naked eye from grad level. However, even now, there has been no official command from the planetary governor in regards to evacuation, and his only statement on the matter has been, there is no need for an evacuation if the Helldivers do their jobs. Really? This lack of action on his part has moved the public into a state of outright panic, and order is beginning to break down. Looting has been reported in Luminosity, the capital city of Angel's Venture, and the spaceports are badly overcrowded in a state of absolute chaos by citizens attempting to flee the oncoming doom. In light of this, I have taken the liberty of deploying some assets that I've been keeping hidden for a rainy day. Said assets arrived earlier today to assist in the evacuation efforts. They're not really equipped to handle large-scale military conflicts, but rather to assist in humanitarian efforts and come well armed enough that any pirate, Illuminate raider, or crazier than a sewer pipe elephant rat scourge diver looking to score some easy kills will quickly reevaluate their life choices that led them to this point. Just call them Seraphim. My helping hands lending aid and comfort throughout the galaxy. We look after the weak and the needy when society won't. In other news, a new group has recently come to my attention. Or rather has been trying to get my attention rather badly, calling themselves the Legion Divers. To the point that they've been trying to hack their way into my broadcast frequency and override my equipment. But they ran into the solid digital brick wall of Mercy's intervention before they could get too far in. I'll be honest, if it wasn't for my resident cybersecurity expert AI, my broadcast would probably be more hacked than the Patriot's stellar net. Even so, since I was asked nicely, I will play their cleaned-up signal without any of these subliminal, cognito, or mimetic hazards that you boys embedded into it.
This is not your propaganda. This is not the voice of Super Earth. This gods must be destroyed. No longer will we bow to their oppression. No longer we will let them control our fate, our future, our very existence. This is only the beginning. We will fight on every world, every star, until they know that their rule is coming to an end. To those who still believe in the lie of Super Earth, you've been deceived. You've been manipulated. Open your eyes. The truth is out there. The truth is in the people's hands. Join us, or be swept away by the tide of revolution. We will take back what is ours. We will make the oppressors fear us. We will bring the Tsars to their knees, and when we are done, there will be no more managed democracy, no more tyrants, no more chaos divers, no more automatons, no more Super Earth, only the free. Simple victorious. More tyrants.
To be perfectly frank, these Legion divers have bit off a lot with this declaration. I mean, Super Earth, and the Chaos Divers, and the Automaton Collective. I was wondering earlier today, when I heard about this, if there was anyone along their borders that they were not currently at war with. Initial estimates show that the Legion numbers at roughly several hundred strong, and to launch a revolution from that would be very difficult. I am only able to get by doing what I do because I've secured so many alliances, but these guys don't seem to be particularly interested in that, only in burying a combat hatchet in as many faces as humanly possible. So, the question of the day, are they a genuine threat, or are they just a bunch of chair bears talking a tough game? Oh, I learned my lesson from underestimating the Scourge Divers. They are a threat, but they're based way out on Virilia 5 in the old Trigon sector, only a few jumps from the far western reaches of Automaton territory. However, Ambassador Radical doesn't seem to think so. When I asked him about this earlier, he responded, "These guys are like the third group to call us out for a fight over the course of the last week. You're gonna have to be more specific, Angel." Yeah, I guess that's fair. I mean, we do have bigger things to worry about right now, so we're gonna stick a pin in this Legion Divers issue and come back to them when we have a chance. Speaking of which, it's time for another educational session of Know Your Foe, which is something I really should consider getting a graphic made for, along with my Geneva suggestion segments of weapon analysis. Today's star of the show is everyone's least favorite wobbly laser beam of doom, the Illuminate Harvester Tripod, with armor, durability, and HP diagrams once again provided by the insanely talented and indispensable Roy. So, looking at these diagrams, what stands out immediately is that the central eye has only 350 HP and is completely unarmored, so common sense would say shoot them here, right? Well, no. Because with the angles and distances involved, making a shot like that is going to be rather difficult, especially since tripods tend to move around in some really funky ways. There is also very little feedback to tell you that you're striking the sweet spot. You are far more likely to be hitting the shield horns, the core casing, or even the shoulder assembly without realizing it, and spend far more ammunition than normal trying to hit that tiny little spot. That tiny little spot also has another problem. If you can see it, it can see you, and that's where the laser comes out to turn you into a hell-diving scorch mark. A method that I have frequently used to take down tripods is to destroy the shoulder assembly, which any weapon sporting medium armor penetration values or higher can handle. You can manage the required shots from a pretty significant distance away, even with something that has some kick to it like the MG43. The laser cannon can manage this pretty easily as well, since it's really just a big laser pointer and removes all the guesswork from where your rounds are landing. Oh, and before I forget, I should mention that Illuminate of all varieties tend not to appreciate energy weapons. Plasma, lasers, and other high-tech items will defeat both their shields armor very easily, i.e. the Scorcher, Purifier, Plasma Polisher, Double-Edged Sickle, or even the Scythe if you're old school. I was reminded about this morning and just wanted to make a mention of it. Illuminate also don't like being hibachi grilled by flames. Kind of fitting, ain't it? Tripods seem to have an almost fearful reaction to discovering a helldiver directly beneath them armed with a flamethrower. The Flame 40 will cook a tripod's core to death in mere moments, though the alien machine will attempt to defend itself at close range with what looks like a miniaturized Tesla coil weapon. Under normal circumstances, a single blast from this Tesla is enough to turn a helldiver into a past tense entity. But if you're rocking the electrical resistance from the Killzone or arc-resistant armor, the Harvester will have precious little it can do to you and will probably die quickly. Aside from that, virtually any piece of large-scale anti-tank weaponry will work great. Recoilless, quasars, eats, commandos, or heck, even the comfy chair AT emplacement. The Arcstar is also particularly useful in that with a few blasts, the tripod will be stunned, and it can do nothing as you casually place a orbital precision strike beacon at its feet to balk it out of existence. Rail cannon strikes and 110mm rockets also tend to shove tripods into history's dumpster fairly reliably, though there are times where they live because their damage models are as funky as their movement. Lastly, the ultimatum can work if you connect with the core casing, but good luck actually nailing a shot like that. These things tend to squirm more than a nervous Pomeranian with bark incense. You can try hitting it in the feet, but there are worlds better options for chilling these War of the Worlds ripoffs. That's been Liberty's Latest with me, Ponderatheradioangel. We're doing a good job taking the squids down out there, Helldivers. We just need to remain consistent and keep the pressure on. Before too much longer, Meridia is just gonna run out of gas, and then we can figure out where the Illuminate are based to pay them a few 380 mil visits. They can't hide forever. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for Super Earth.